can you fill in our audience just a little bit more about your background and how you got to where you are today?
Sure. I started as an assistant to a business broker, my father, actually, back in 2001. Did that for a few years. From there, transitioned into commercial real estate. I was a hotel broker. Did that for 4 years. And then 2009, when that, the market was just very upside down, I decided that it was a good time to go into the property management business because I just felt like no one could sell their house or without having to either come to the closing with a check or foreclose, short sale, something like that. And so property management was the first business that I ever owned. And then from there, I've just been adding, kind of bolting on different related services so I can serve that existing customer base. So the first was adding to the mix the brokerage component because it made a lot of sense. I already had a real estate license for doing property management. And then from there, buying rental properties. We'd buy things that were distressed, fix them up, rent them out. We bought about 70 properties that way. We've sold about half of them so far because the market's just been, pretty hot for that. And then eventually, the next step was to get into flipping and eventually getting my own general contractor's license because for the first 9 years, I was basically outsourcing all of that. And it did work, but at the same time, there were a lot of issues and costs just seemed to go up every year, 20, 30%, and to the point where nothing seemed viable. So again, I had to insource that. So I guess my career has just been basically a progression of, if you consider the real estate investment the hub of the wheel, I just keep adding spokes to it that serve that main focus.
Yeah. Neat. Well, let's go back for a moment. Just how was it growing up in a household where, your father was a business broker, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm assuming that's pretty entrepreneurial. Mm-hmm. And so having that influence in your life, did that really help out on your career path?
I would say that I learned to be a hustler from my dad. Probably since I was 10 years old, I started having my own first business. I was, doing car washes and lawn mowing and different things like that. I think I was an entrepreneurial person just by very nature. I love to play Monopoly with the kids in the neighborhood, whip up on them. And, so it's always been in my DNA. I think that what I really enjoyed about working with my dad as his assistant for those years was getting exposed to business owners, their financials, their types of businesses they had. And I decided very early on that was for me. I wanted to be a business owner, partly for the prestige, partly for the flexibility and all this kind of stuff. But I never really made a great employee, to be honest. Something about it. I do much better when I'm just the one doing it and figuring it out for myself. I'm not a great be told what to do type of guy. So,
Yeah, I get that.
Want to hear more on this topic? Click the link below for the full episode of Maximizing Your Property Value.